Hey, welcome. Hopefully you guys can hear me clearly. Can you hear the audio? Oh, wait. One second. What's up? What's up? Just getting warmed up. Getting ready. Make sure we're good over here. Okay. Facebook, YouTube. What's up? Okay. All right. I think that's enough of that weird music, right? What's up, everybody? Welcome. It's iCkEdMeL. And tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of call-ins. Call-ins tonight. I have some video clips first to play. I spent some time putting together a nice video that we're going to watch for the people that aren't familiar or need to recap with the story. We're going to do that first. Appreciate you guys joining. It seems like the story is kind of like starting to slow down, kind of die out in the media. The interest is starting to kind of go down. But tonight we're going to do call-ins. And if people, I got to say it up off the rip. People start acting out in the comments, like wilding out, attacking people, tagging people, I'm going to block you. If you call in cursing, going crazy, all sorts of stuff, I'm going to hang up on you. Just putting it out there right now. It's just all dirty. I don't know what's going on. What's up with my shirt here? Oh, pretend you guys didn't see that. But yeah, I will be regulating if I have to. So I want to talk a little bit about the timeline. Let me do this first. We're going to play the clip. We're going to play the clip, the news clip. Delia, what's up? Thanks for coming. Carrie, Flossie, Clarissa, Kara, April, Bella. Oh, thank you for I think it was a PayPal or something. I think it was PayPal you sent me. Appreciate it. But yeah, definitely if we start getting crazy people, we had somebody in here last time was kind of wilding out, tagging people, saying everybody's going to hell. So if you start, I'll just block you. We keep it moving, just like that. So let me play this clip for you guys. This will kind of catch you up on things if you missed out on some details. And hit like if you can. Share the video.
For a young woman, they say.
And I definitely want to hear your thoughts with what you think happened. Maybe some people from locally can call in. Let me know. Let me play this here for you guys. Hey, what's up?
Was last seen on Thursday. They're trying to find Noemi Bolivar. Friends tell us the 21-year-old looks much younger than her age.
Now, family members shared a video of Noemi as she is described as a nature lover with a major in wildlife ecology from Brigham Young University.
Family friend Karam Riker says Noemi's plan was to work for the National Park Service. She was dealing with disappointment not getting an internship at Everglades National Park. But she doesn't believe Noemi is deliberately hiding.
We've looked through her laptop, through her, cell phone messages, the things that we have available to us, the resources that we had available, we looked through that. It's not in her character to do that. She was not messaging anybody.
I definitely think that she could be involved in human as a victim because human are looking for that are, sad. She was really sad that day.
She says Noemi is fragile.
She is high functioning autistic. She also has been diagnosed with ADHD. She used to be on medication.
Noemi Bolivar was last heard from last Thursday when she did a Snapchat from Ann Kolb Nature Center. Now, her father and mother are devastated.
Naomi's family believes that she took the bus from her home in Hollywood last Thursday afternoon to go for a walk at her favorite spot, the Ann Kolb Nature Center. They know she arrived there as she texted her friend a picture of herself in the park.
The 21-year-old has been missing since February the 11th. According to Hollywood police, Noemi was seen entering a bus on the 7000 block of Sheridan Street. She got off the bus alone on the 800 block of Sheridan and hasn't been seen since.
We know that she's against her will. That's for sure. We know our.
So family and friends, people that knew her, they feel that Noemi was taken against her will. You know, other people aren't so sure. Nobody really knows truly what happened.
Daughter
there is no doubt in my mind. She will never go this.
Police was able to ping Noemi's cell phone near a beach in Hollywood. Then officers searched the area but was unable to locate her.
And I want to show you the area. This is where Noemi was last seen. Apparently, she was at the Ann Kolb Nature Center. The last trace of her was in the area of Ocean between Taft and Magnolia Terrace late Thursday night.
You are looking at the latest image of 21-year-old Noemi Bolivar obtained by Hollywood police. Investigators say it shows the missing woman boarding a Broward County transit bus on Sheridan Street near 72nd Avenue last Thursday, the same day she disappeared.
Noemi's parents are working with Hollywood police and have passed out this flyer during several searches, starting at Ann Kolb Nature Center.
It's now a week since Noemi Bolivar disappeared in Hollywood. Her friends and family haven't stopped looking, and police are stepping up the search. While a drone hovered over densely wooded areas, police officers fanned out in the Ann Kolb Nature Center off Sheridan Street, Hollywood.
Hollywood police are lacking evidence, any type of credible evidence at this point. So this is why they launched this massive search today to try to figure out what happened to her. A search via air. A methodical search by ground. Dozens of Hollywood and BSO deputies searching a wooded area at the Ann Kolb Nature Center, the last place 21-year-old Noemi Bolivar was last seen.
We're actually doing a grid search of the area, and the reason why we're doing that is to possibly find any evidence or any indication of where she could possibly be or have traveled.
Officers say at the moment they don't suspect any foul play and they haven't uncovered anything in the search. It's the largest we've seen since Bolivar went missing. Last Thursday, she took a selfie at the observation tower inside the park and sent it to a friend on Snapchat. But around
the whole observation tower is something that's come into question a lot, because I spoke to Summer and Summer told me that the pictures, which were multiple pictures, it didn't look like she was taking it from a top of a tower. It looked like it was more like ground level. And so that's kind of been something that's in question. But regardless, some people believe she may have been either here or at Westlake, which is right across. It's connected. It goes under the bridge. Yeah.
6:15 p.m., she stopped sending or receiving messages and phone calls.
Yes.
This man says he saw her at that very time.
So this is the whole Larry situation too, where everybody's been going kind of crazy, right? Because this is one of the people allegedly that saw her at Ann Kolb, right? And a lot of people are like, oh, it looks kind of weird and yada yada, but she does a little bit. But a lot of people are kind of hanging on Larry. So I found the clip because nobody else could send it to me, but I found it today.
And sent it to a friend on Snapchat. But around 6:15 p.m., she stopped sending or receiving messages and phone calls. This man says he saw her at that very tower.
I walked around and she was like gazing out over to the east side, the west side of the.
So he said she was gazing over to the east side, the west side. And I saw people talking about this, like, oh, he had two different stories. I know a lot of people, and I've done it myself when I've gone to Ann Kolb, where you're out in these areas. A lot of people don't know north, south, east, west, and it's very, very easily confused. So just because he said east and then west, I wouldn't say that that's just a change of story. It's very easily done. Now, the west side is one of the paths that's kind of, he said she was facing the west side supposedly. Who knows if she really saw her, because there's been a bunch of supposed sightings, and so far nothing has really turned up. Because a lot of people, she can easily look like somebody. Everybody has a mask on, everybody has sunglasses on. She's Latina. And so, but the west side would be from the tower looking to the west, like towards the big, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's not towards the beach, it's the opposite side of the beach.
The tower there, but I didn't talk to her. I don't know with her.
Bolivar has autism, and while she's high functioning, her family says she has the social maturity of a 15-year-old.
So a couple of things that I want you guys to keep in mind, because there's a lot we got to go, and I have a lot of things in my head that I have to try to somehow make it digestible. But okay, the Larry situation, let me show you a screenshot first, because the timelines, which could have been a innocent mistake, but there was an article, thank you to the Facebook people, that says here, Larry, who did not disclose his last name, let me make sure you guys can see that, said he believes that he saw the 21-year-old at the nature center. I was there about 4:15 to 4:30. Now, originally with the timeline that was put out, it was she left home at 4 p.m. It would take about an hour or so to get to the beach. That timeline would not coincide with Larry. Wouldn't make sense. Everybody was like, is Larry lying? Doesn't make sense. But now I've heard them mention a couple times, people inside the Facebook group or the church mention 3 p.m. So if she left at 3 p.m., that could coincide maybe Larry's time of seeing her at Ann Kolb Nature Center. I'm going to play the clip for you, but just keep that in mind as we go through this. Also, keep in mind that, okay, so she's 21 years old. Well, she's 22 now. Her birthday just passed. But at the time of the articles, she's 21 years old. And she's high functioning. They say high functioning autism, had ADHD. She was on medication. She has the maturity level of a 15-year-old, which they were kind of implying she's easily coerced or whatever. But just keep that in mind. 21 years old and maturity level of a 15-year-old.
So again, this is the largest search that we have seen since Noemi went missing last Thursday. Again, police don't have any evidence at the moment to suggest that she is in any type of danger.
The area of Hollywood is so big and massive. We need way more people. We definitely have hope. We have not found any, like her bodies and her shoes or anything. And so we have a lot of reason to believe that she is still alive and that something bad has happened to her.
She's not the kind of girl to disappear. She's a church-going girl. She's never done anything like this. This is totally out of character. And she didn't take any money or credit card. She left all her belongings here. What worries me the most is that somebody may have taken her.
Okay, so keep in mind the maturity level and what else was it? The 4 p.m. and the timeline stuff, which we're going to talk about. So there was a Hallandale tip. Supposedly, people reportedly saw her around Hallandale, Foster Road, and something. And so I'm first going to play the news clip, and then I'm going to show you a screenshot from the private investigator that he posted in the group with regard to Hallandale, which it didn't pan out.
Saturday's search took volunteers to Hallandale, near Foster and Northwest 6th Avenue. The group hosted flyers and spoke to residents in hopes of finding any clues of Noemi's whereabouts.
As we're out talking, looking, and just talking with everybody and all the locals in the neighborhood, we've had a few individuals say that they think they may have seen her in the last 4 or 5 days. So we're hopeful that we're going to find her.
Optimism echoed by friends and family.
We're focused on trying to find her, and so we're not going to give up until we do.
We have every reason to believe that she's still alive, and that if she could come home, she would.
Okay, so that was the Hallandale tip. That was kind of the more recent thing. Now let me share with you this Facebook post from the private investigator, and then we'll keep moving on because I have a couple of timestamps and things to show you before we get to the calls, because I definitely want to know what you guys think. Now, so good morning, group. Last night, Karim gave a live update on the search of Neomi. Although in the beginning there was great frustration with the Hollywood Police Department, we can report that they are taking this matter very seriously and are doing everything to locate Noemi. Our efforts in Hallandale led us to believe that Naomi's sighting was a case of mistaken identity, which often happens when so many people are trying to help. Our team met with members of the community late Monday, which he posted a video late Monday evening, and we're assured that Noemi was not in Hallandale and obtained the commitment from community leaders that if she were to appear anywhere in the area, we will be contacted. Your efforts in Hallandale and beyond is much more that inspirational to all of us, kind of yada yada. So this is what was the most significant thing to me. It says today the investigation takes over a new dynamic as it is no longer believed that Noemi is lost, not being able to find her way home. I wasn't kind of sure how to interpret that, but from what I saw in the comments, people interpret it as she's like not lost in the woods. They don't believe like something happened to her in the woods. Like I said, the family, the friends, people close to her, they say this is out of her character. They don't believe that she would just get up and run. But there is some interesting stuff to talk about soon. And it states here that the family has an attorney and that kind of stuff. So what I want to show you now, let's see where we can get to what makes sense. Okay. Let's get to the maturity level thing. Maturity level. So let me play this clip from Instagram Live. This is Karim, which she's like the kind of like the family spokesperson. Even the police now, they're not really giving tips to them, or not tips, but they're only talking to the family directly. They're not talking to like volunteers and stuff. So let me skip to 335.
I think go ahead. Okay, so this is west, east, north, south.
What's up, everybody?
Okay.
Welcome. Yeah, we're talking past tense because these videos are a little bit old, but she just turned 22.
Noemi lives, I'm going to start here. So first of all, Noemi has been taking public transit since she was 12 years old. Yes, like 12, 13. She was really young when she started taking it. So she's really familiar with the bus transit. She's been taking it to and from school, and then she did dual enrollment here. So she was enrolled at the local college while she was in high school. So she would take it all across town. So not weird at all for her to take public transportation to go somewhere. Also, she did not take a wallet or anything like that other than her phone, her mask, and her sunglasses that day because Broward buses aren't charging right now. They are they're free because of COVID.
Which I heard that's true. Somebody called up. So the whole maturity thing, which what I'm wondering, because she was just 21, she turned 22, but at 21, they said she had the maturity level of a 15-year-old. So what was interesting in this video is that you said that Noemi at 12 years old was riding the public transit. She was taking the buses by herself. She was dual enrolled in high school and college. So I just wonder at 12 years old, what would they have considered her maturity level then? Because at that time, she was riding the bus on her own and very high functioning and doing all these things. That was one thing that I thought was kind of interesting. And I get it. I mean, it's something that's maybe gray area because they're saying somebody could maybe manipulate her easier or something. But I'm just wondering because she seemed very high functioning at 12 years old to be doing all that. So Noemi supposedly only took her phone, mask, and sunglasses, and she didn't have to pay to get on the bus. A lot of people were wondering, how did she take the bus and not pay? Another thing too, before we get to the timeline, is where they state she left around late 3 p.m. All this time it's been 4 p.m., which it could be they don't really know exactly. It's just an estimate. But like the whole 3 p.m., 4 p.m. thing is kind of important because of Larry. So let me forward it to 15.
I will take those to and let us know that you gave them the tip. I would really appreciate it because they're only going to be speaking to the family from now on. So they're not going to be speaking to our little church team organization. So do us a solid and let us know because we're kind of conducting our own little investigation over here. And I mentioned yesterday that the family has an amazing PI now too. So but we are in coordination a lot with the PI and we're helping them and they're helping us. We're helping them. Okay. Okay, you guys, I'm going to start answering some questions.
See 15.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Julie Jones says because she loved nature and exploring, could she have wandered into the mangroves and gotten stuck or hurt? That is something that a lot of people have brought up. And the mangroves are so, I think it would just depend, like the path at Ann Kolb is, if you fall on either side, you can pretty much get up. Like, I don't think there's any way for you to like die in there. Because it's so shallow and the roots are so thick. You know, if you really wanted to, you'd fall in the mangroves, and I think you could catch yourself. And there's usually enough people around the park that they would hear you. In fact, every time I go to the park, I have that same thought. I'm like, how would I do that? Like if I fell over, one of my kids fell over. So I thought about it a lot. And with other groups, I usually go in a group with a bunch of moms, and it's really hard at Ann Kolb to kind of fall in and, you know, to pass out from something like that. A really good question, though, especially for those that aren't.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. We're going to do calls soon, guys.
Okay, let's see. I know I saw some questions down here. Okay, Queen B2K20 says, even though she was high functioning autistic, even though she was high functioning, autistic people should not be alone. They are too trusting and don't have enough cognizance to be cautious. Someone should have been with her. Plus, it gets dark before 4 p.m., 6 p.m. So she left her house probably sometime late, like 3 p.m. But she was really, really high functioning. If you knew Naomi, she was really able to take care of herself. But
all right.
But it is true that they do miss out on some of those social cues. So I think if maybe she just stayed out.
So I missed it. You guys heard it, but I missed it. 15:08.
Have been with her. Plus, it gets dark before 4 p.m., 6 p.m.
And it doesn't get dark before 6 p.m. I know she's reading what the person's saying, but I've been out there. I've been recording around 6:30. Yeah, like it does get dusk, like grayish, depending on how cloudy it is. But like around 6:45, it's like pitch black. But it does start to get kind of dark around that time.
So she left her house probably sometime late, like 3 p.m. But
so she left her house late, like 3 p.m. The timeline has been 4 p.m. The only reason I'm pointing this out is because the whole Larry thing, which is kind of important. The other thing too, and I don't know, I'm not going to bother searching for it, but during this stream, they were talking about the canine and the dogs and how long can dogs, the canines or whatever, canines smell the scent of like a person. And so Karim was saying, up to 30 days because she spoke to somebody. Now, the interesting thing of there is things that can affect that, though. And I had a friend that spoke to somebody that is a certified canine handler and trainer and peace officer and all this stuff. I'll leave it at that. But what he said, and it's important to note because the police, they did the big search on a Tuesday, the first search. And so things like rain, wind, time affects tracking for dogs. Oh Lord, I forgot she said that. But yeah, it can totally have even humidity and all that stuff can affect it. So the day before police got there, it was raining all day long. Because I remember I got rained out with the flyers. I was handing out flyers and I got soaked. The other thing too that I wanted to show you guys before we get to the calls, because this is just really, really important, and then I want to hear what you guys have to say. And please keep it decent when you call in, and don't call in cursing, yelling, all that stuff, because I'll hang up on you. Let me play this clip. So this was from last night's Facebook, and I'm just going to skip to a couple of things because we can't watch the whole thing. It's really long. But a couple of things that I thought was important. And by the way, this is fair use. I'm following copyright laws, just in case. It's fair use. So the first thing I want to skip to is 244. And Karim talks a little bit about the timeline. So let me do that. 244.
So you type in have I need one. And like what happened. So just for being on the same page. Okay. So
I'll see if I can. You know what I'll do? While she's talking, thank you, Mel. I appreciate the super chat. While she's talking, I'm gonna pull up the map for you guys, so you can kind of get an idea. Because she was on Instagram. On Instagram, it's really hard. You can't like do all this stuff that I'm doing right now. So let me play her, and then I'll get the map going.
imagine that Noemi lives here. This is west. This is east. This is north. This is south. Okay. So west, east, north, south. She lives here. She travels. She moves several blocks up north. Somewhere around here, her location service gets turned off. And then she gets on the bus right here. She gets on the number 12.
So this is just really important. Let me take it back for you guys
here.
for a second, because all this time, I don't know, I was under the impression that the cell phone services got turned off at the beach around 10 or 11 p.m. There was an article. Actually, I think I took a screenshot. Let me see if I have the screenshot. Do I have the screenshot? I might. I don't have that particular one, but there was articles that implied that she had turned off her GPS, or somebody turned off her GPS at the beach. With this video from last night, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit again, because right now we're talking about where she left her house, which she lives somewhere close to around this area. Okay, the 70th, somewhere around there. And this is the. Oh, let me make it bigger. Sorry. And this is the Taft and Publix we're talking about. So she walks to the bus stop, okay, to take the Sheridan bus stop all the way to Ann Kolb. And so Karim is saying here is that she turned off her cell phone here at the beginning before she got on the bus. And from what police told us, she was on the bus alone. And so she turned off her cell phone early on in. Okay, I don't know why. Unless she slipped up in this video, that's not what it was or whatever. So let me play that part again.
East. This is west. This is east. This is north. This is south. Okay. So west, east, north, south. She lives here. She travels. She moves several blocks up north. Somewhere around here, her location service gets turned off. And then she gets on the bus right here. She gets on the number 12.
Her GPS was turned off before she took the bus to go to Ann Kolb. Okay. So that doesn't really add up to me. That's kind of weird.
And she goes westbound all across town, where she gets off on the 800 block of Sheridan Street. On the news, you may have seen some people placing her, some news stations put her on like the Dixie Highway on the railroad tracks, and then others put her right in front of Ann Kolb. We know that she got off on Ann Kolb. That is like, it's kind of like a map thing. Okay, so if you go on Google Maps and you type in 800 Sheridan, it takes you to right in front of the Sheridan Lumber right there.
Well, she's right. Ann Kolb Nature Center, the address is like 752 or something. And so it's possible. We don't know for sure because police haven't really said. They just said the 800 block. This is like the whole 800 block. It's possible she got off here, or she could have gone down further if she wanted to. And there's another bus stop here. I showed you guys all this on video in person. And this would have been the bus to take her back home going this way. So it's possible she could have got off here, but maybe more than likely it was here. And now this is Ann Kolb Nature Center, which Ann Kolb is huge. And I've shown you guys this, and there's a couple of trails. These trails are very guided. They have like a bar. You'd have to deliberately hop over. It's huge, but there's not too many places you can go off trail. There's a place up here north where you can go off trail, which I went for a little bit and I came back circle. And then if you go to the south side, there's a place right here where you can kind of go off trail. And when I was with a private investigator, we did find a homeless encampment towards the entrance. And then the West Park area, Westlake Park, it's huge, huge, huge. And supposedly, I think police have been here 2 times with canines. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys because I just can't ignore that. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let me skip towards where she talks to 649 about the cameras, because a lot of people have been wondering about the cameras at Ann Kolb, which I heard from one person I spoke to, there was only like 1 working camera, and Karim kind of says the same thing. There was only like 1 working camera, I guess. But let me play that. 649.
Everywhere at 9:30. Please watch. Okay, so 800 block of Sheridan. I don't, and I apologize, and I feel so bad for doing this. Somebody says yes, stop. Okay, maybe I will. You guys, I'm a people pleaser. It's so hard for me. I want to please everybody.
And you can't on the internet. You really can't. I know you want to try, but
I'm just
really
gonna go
can't.
ahead and just keep
the
going.
Internet's
So
just
she gets
crazy.
off on the 800 block of Sheridan. Here at this point, we really don't know much after this. Okay, you have to understand something too. Ann Kolb is a park that is run by the county. It is not run by the city. I contacted the park ranger. They are underfunded when it comes to security. So they do not have security cameras that are functioning everywhere they should be. That's 1. 2, they don't have security cameras everywhere they should have security cameras because it costs a lot of money. If it's not attached to a building, then they have to run wires underneath the ground to ground these systems. And so the park ranger was telling me that the money gets allocated by the city commissioner or the county commissioner. They put all the money in. So it's really difficult to actually allocate money for all of these parks. He said they just, this is the amount that they get for security, and then they just distribute it to all the parks, and so all the parks have to divvy up all this money, and it's actually really expensive. And then even if we like fundraised money to put security cameras and things like that, we would have to go through an extremely lengthy process. So you've got to understand that this is kind of what they're dealing with in this area. This was something that I did not know. So you've got Ann Kolb right here. There's a park, and then there's a park on the south side of Sheridan. So there's a park up here, and it's called Ann Kolb, and then there's another one right here that is Westlake Park. These are, if you're not familiar with the area, these are extremely massive parks. Lots of shrubbery, lots of trees, lots of stuff. Like you could literally get lost in there. And
You can. It's true.
You know,
Yeah.
it takes quite a bit of time walking to get out. And so, so there's that.
So let me fast forward a little bit because I do want to get to calls. For people that missed the stuff, you might have to rewind because I do want to focus on calls. But there's just important details that I wanted you guys to hear. I wanted to play a little clip too of what they did in the first 72 hours. And also that the cops, so she went missing on a Thursday. Cops showed up, according to Karim, next Monday. They did a search on Tuesday. It was like a massive search, but it did rain heavy the day before. So I just wonder about Canine and could it detect that stuff and all that. So let me take you to and she also talks about how the phones were pinged. 10:25. Let me move it up a little bit.
0.4 mile yesterday. Scared. He's and all of that kind of stuff. And so that was great. Chief tells me this. They pinned these phones like we had originally thought. So it depends on how are the cops actually going to be pinning these phones? Are they using really high-tech equipment? Like I know federal agencies are probably using like some really high equipment. I don't know what Hollywood PD is a really small department. They have, I think, like there's like maybe 2 or 3 detectives working missing persons. So really, really small. He said that all these pins were done from the cell tower. So each pin has its own radius. Let me explain this. The first pin could have been like, I don't know. He said he didn't know. He didn't know. He just said flat out, I don't know. This first pin could have been, I'm just going to speculate here, could have been 4 miles. And this first pin could have been 2 miles. The radiuses are going to be different. So makes it really hard to know where the phone was. They're just bouncing off these towers at this point.
They saw her on the bus when she got on and got off, but as far as getting back on, yeah, I don't know. Yuki said this is possible her phone died and she got on the wrong bus, but she had traveled there a couple of times before. Like that was one of her favorite parks, and so I would assume that she knows how to get back home. What's up, Leave It to Biba? The first 72 hours. Let me fast forward. Oh, right here. Okay.
We spent the first 72 hours. So we spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on our own as a volunteer group trying to find Noemi. We went and we scattered all these areas. Her father nonstop looking for her through the mangroves, through the trees, through the streets, up and down everywhere. We researched, we searched everywhere we could. We had 12 volunteers the first day. That evening we had 25. The next day we had 60. The other day we had close to 100. Now we're Monday morning. The story through some help of some friends, and then we were able to captivate a couple people, and then everybody, we got on social media and we had everybody email the all of the local channels, and it worked. They caught the bait. They came to Bolivar's home. We did 7 back-to-back interviews Monday. It was a long, hot day. We were there giving all these interviews, and it was just crazy. That afternoon, after it hit the media, that afternoon, okay, so we had previously asked the cops to get involved, that we thought this was a serious case, and they told us, no, you're gonna have to wait until after the holidays. We're gonna come We're gonna come on Tuesday. But they showed up on Monday, so it was great. They took her laptop, they took some of her equipment, all this kind of stuff, and it was wonderful. And then they started working the case. As soon as law enforcement gets involved with anything like this, they don't have to update the family. They don't have to update us. They've been very generous with the updates, the little bit of updates that they've given us. And then there was that big release on Saturday, right after we did our big search. On Saturday, we held a big search. We had like 180 people almost there. And after we did that, they released camera footage of her being on the bus.
Okay, so I kind of want to move a little forward because I want to get to the calls. I don't want to hang you guys too long. But there was another portion in the video where she stated on 2/24/2021, she stated that police did another search at the park. I don't know if it was Westlake or Ann Kolb. I'm not too sure. And there's nothing in the news that I saw that happened. I mean, I don't have any reason not to believe her, but I don't know why the news wouldn't cover and update that they did another massive search. I haven't seen anything. It could be, but I haven't seen anything. And the news to me is kind of falling behind. Maybe they're waiting on very new, up-to-date information to post. And the other thing, well, no, let me be done with that because I want to go with the timelines real quick. The timeline, and then I'll open up calls and I'll go over some screenshots while we wait for people to call in. So let me make this big for you guys. This was a timeline. Try to make it big for you guys. So this timeline, I reached out. This timeline was put together by somebody in the church. The church, they've been helping out. They've been assisting. They've been helping out with the search efforts. And they really have, like, people in the community and the church, they've put a lot of flyers out. There's flyers everywhere. I've been to places in Hollywood where I wouldn't expect to find stuff, and I found stuff. So at 4 p.m., Naomi leaves home. This is according to the timeline. David brother asks where Naomi's going. She replies, on a walk. This is normal behavior. A lot of people have wondered about the brother. We haven't heard anything from him. Maybe he's underage. I don't know. But we haven't heard nothing from the brother, which is, I don't know. 4:20 p.m., Google account location history places last cell phone location at 70th and Scott. So this would be close to the house. This would be close to where she was walking and getting on the bus. So blah, blah, blah. I mean, I think I've shown you guys so many times I really don't need to do it again. But it's a turnpike. Pass here a little bit here. 72nd. Where am I at? Did I go too far? Okay, yeah, we're in the right area. So right around here somewhere. And here's Scott Street. And so the timeline says they went back and they looked into the Google account / location history, and at 70th Ave and Scott, that's where she was at 4:20 p.m. And this is still, we're kind of going back to the timeline because they said 3 p.m. First they said 4, and now they're saying kind of later around 3. And then the whole thing with Larry. Larry said he claimed to see her around 4. He was there at the park at 4 or 4:30, 4:15. It would take an hour from her home to go to the park, around there roughly. And so with the whole Larry thing, this timeline wouldn't coincide unless this was really 3 o'clock. So this is why the timeline is kind of like, we got to talk about it a little bit. At 4:30, various pictures / messages sent and shared with Summer, placing Noemi on the bus. She sent a selfie with a mask via Snapchat, which I spoke to Summer, and that's what she told me happened. Various other pictures / messages with Summer at a wildlife center / park. Pics of zoomed in skyline via Snapchat. 6:15 was the last message with Summer, which that's what she told me too. And Summer stated that she wasn't even sure that Noemi was actually at Ann Kolb. And she was saying that people should be searching and looking everywhere, which I don't really know that she's if she was at the park at one point, I don't think she's there anymore unless something happened at the park and somebody hid something. 7 p.m. David, so this is the brother. David thinks it's off. Noemi isn't home yet. Calls and texts her cell. Rings through, but no answer. 8 p.m. Family checks local areas near home and other nearby shopping centers and parks. 9 p.m. Family checks location history and cell phone activity and computer login activity. What I thought was weird about this only thing, which now I guess it makes sense if they're saying that she turned off her GPS before she even got on the bus to go to the park, which is strange in itself. That would make sense why they couldn't give us a direct location, because at 4:20 p.m. they pulled up this very accurate, I guess, location. But at 9 p.m., what happened to that location? Right, the 4:20 and the 9 p.m. I guess if she turned off her GPS, then they wouldn't be able to pick up her location. Right. So 9:37 p.m. family calls 911. Police arrive shortly and continue a local search near home. Police ping cell phone towers 2300 south and then 2300 north. And so that's the timeline. All right. Nobody knows what was in these pictures. We can only go off of what Summer said. If you guys want, I can later read you what Summer sent me and what she said about it. But let me open up the phone lines. So let me call in first, and then if people want to, I might actually have to put some more money on here. Add funds. Let me do this real quick just to so it doesn't cut off anybody. Okay. So you guys can call in. I'm going to set it up here right now. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do.
Thank you for calling Call-In Studios host and call screener line. Please enter your show number and press pound. Enter your 6-digit PIN number. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-In Studio web interface.
I'm going to open up the lines. And if there's a lot of people that call in, then we might have to keep it brief. You know, give your opinion, state how you feel. And don't, like straight out accuse people. Just say it's your opinion or your theory or whatever. Don't say like, "Oh, this person did that," please, or whatever. From what I've read, the family stated, I don't know, the family stated that she didn't have a boyfriend and that they searched her social media. Yeah, the timeline's kind of changed a bit, which it could be just a mistake or just an estimate, but it is important, especially with the Larry situation. So let me take this call here. 3-1. Oh, we got people calling in. 312. Hey, you got to turn me down in the background.
Hello?
Hi, how you doing? Where you calling from?
From Chicago.
Okay, who's this?
Hey, I just had a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Did they ever find the phone?
No.
I was wondering, maybe she left it on the bus.
Well, the only thing is the last ping supposedly was by the beach. And so...
You remember how you showed the map of the thing with the circle of her previous location?
Yeah.
Like, it looked like she did that round thing. So maybe, like, she turned the phone off because, like, her location off because her battery's dead, and if they never found the phone... I was just thinking maybe she left the phone on the bus.
It's possible.
Maybe contact that bus place.
Yeah, I think police haven't released much. They've been very quiet. I don't know why we didn't get a video. They didn't really release a timestamp. It was just a still image. And so I don't know, because they should be able to tell maybe if she got back on the bus or she took another bus down this A1A area, Ocean Drive, there is quite a few cameras. So I know this backside though.
You're doing a good job, man.
Thanks, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Take care, man.
All right, take care.
Let me take the next call. This backside though, I was there in Hollywood North Beach, and this is another alternative route that she possibly could have taken, because she could have left the park, crossed the bridge, come back here, and you can go into Hollywood Boardwalk, and this area here doesn't have cameras. Well, this area here doesn't have cameras. I don't know about this Zach Snacks. 401. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Lisa P. calling from Rhode Island.
Lisa, hey, how you doing? Appreciate you calling in.
Good. How are you?
Good.
All right. So my thoughts on this is that I think she took off by herself. Honestly, I was talking with can we mention names? Like, I was talking to Barbie. She's a retired cop, and she's in the Neomi group, and she said that the cops have already ruled it not foul play.
Right. They've said that multiple times.
Yeah, and that they're not. That's why there's no reward for her. You know, she said they won't authorize the reward if there was no foul play involved. So I asked her. I said, "Does that mean that she went away willingly?" And she goes, "That's what no foul play means."
And that could change at any moment, any time. But it just seems like cops haven't found anything at all to indicate that.
No,
and I think the biggest thing too, one of the biggest things for me, which I just learned this last night, supposedly, is that before she even got on the bus, she supposedly manually turned off her GPS. Why would she do that?
Because she didn't want somebody to find her.
That should send. I don't know how people haven't caught on to that. That should be like, hello. Oh, wow. I don't know.
They're really hung up on the trafficking way. You know, she was trafficked. They're really hung up on that. And it's like they don't see anything else. I know, because I know they just deleted a bunch of stuff that I have put in there, asking questions. Got deleted.
Oh, wait. From the group?
Yeah.
Oh,
from the Bring Naomi Home group. Yeah, they're just shutting. I was surprised that they didn't shut down my conversation with Barbie either. But Barbie, you know, she's, like I said, she's a retired cop. She says, no, that's why. There's no reward. There's nothing for a reason.
Kara said that's not true at all. You can. All right. Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate you calling.
No, I was let somebody else have a turn.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I appreciate her. She's been supporting the channel for a while. The lines are empty right now if anybody wants to call in. Kara said that's not true. You can offer a reward without foul play. They were telling us, I don't know what's true because I never, but they were telling us supposedly that that's the reason why Broward Crime Stoppers hasn't offered a reward. maybe somebody can reach out to Broward Crime Stoppers and find out what the exact, or maybe one of these days. I'll let the web sleuths do it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me show you some other messages or screenshots. And from like the family perspective, or maybe from like a parent, I could kind of see too how like they wouldn't want anybody to think anything else, because people are not going to maybe take it serious, you know, or if that thought comes into people's heads that she left in her home, then people are going to be like, oh, well, screw it. You know, I don't know what happened, you know, and I really wish that police, and maybe it's a strategy thing, maybe police are just purposely putting out very little bit of information, but I wish they would kind of come out maybe and say some more, or show some video or something. Yeah, the Snapchat pictures were deleted. Snapchat, it just deletes the stuff. It doesn't stay on. So let me show you. Okay. So there was a Reddit post. I wasn't going to show this, but I'll show it anyway. Take this with a grain of salt, because anybody can post anywhere. But somebody commented about, you know, a possible explanation of delusion or trauma, which the family and the people adamantly believe that this Noemi wouldn't do this at all, and said here that family search parties organized by her church and law enforcement have concluded that she did not disappear willingly, even though so far I've heard that police so far don't suspect any foul play. That stuff can change at any moment. But over here, somebody commented, which was a random person. They said there's unconfirmed information that Noemi may have been planning on disappearing. I know this isn't the information everyone wants to hear, but it should be known to those searching for her. And they question, where did you hear this information from? And I'm from a reliable source. The only thing too is, like, let's say she left willingly. Why not send like a I don't know, a message or public message or something? Okay, I'm safe. If she's 21, right? I'm safe. You know, I just wanted to whatever. Let me take this call. Got a call. Mel, is it possible she sent an older photo? I think on Snapchat. I don't like Snapchat. I have it. I hate it. It makes no sense to me. Like, you look at a picture and it's just gone. Like, you can barely even look at it and it's gone. It's deleted. I guess it's for the kids or the younger generation. But I think you can send an older picture. Let me take 786. How you doing? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Jen. I'm calling from Davie, Florida.
Hi, how you doing? Thanks for calling.
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, no problem. First, I wanted to thank you for all the work you're doing. And secondly, I had a couple things to state from the live last night that I was watching that I know you're showing clips of. And one thing that kind of stood out to me, and this may be because of their religion, but somebody was offering them services from psychics. And, you know, a lot of people that go missing, they look into these psychics. And I followed you with the Layla Cavett case. And, you know, there's a lot of people that have this intuition to kind of help in missing children cases. And she said very clearly that parents want nothing to do with that, which I understand the religion part, but that kind of stood out to me, because if your child's missing, wouldn't you want every possible avenue? The other thing to piggyback on that was, I noticed last night they also mentioned, like, hey, there's some detectives that can help with surveillance or footage, or they can do a better job than Hollywood PD in terms of like searching through the phone records in the computer. And she kind of turned that down last night too, and said the dad didn't want any outside help other than a private investigator. I don't know if you remember hearing that, but that stood out to me, and I kind of like was taken back by that, because if my child went missing, I would use every possible avenue to find them.
Right. Well, let me say that my opinion as far as like the psychics and all that stuff, I personally, I wouldn't waste my time with it, but I know there's people that are really into it. But I've spoken to people that are into doing searches. I've spoken to people that do investigations. They've told me, and I actually know a story, which I'm not going to say who, where they've got led down this whole rabbit hole of wasting resources and time and all this kind of craziness and money. It led nowhere, absolutely nowhere. So that one's kind of tough as far as like the intuition. Or I mean, I remember even with Malia Davis, there's people contacting me telling me they had a dream. They were having dreams about where her body was. And it's just kind of like when you're making those calls into Crime Stoppers or police and all that kind of stuff based off of a dream that you had last night. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough one for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, I get it. I mean, and I probably would feel the same way, but I think since it was both things, it was the psychics and then it was also additional detectives that could do some more forensic work on the, she turned down also saying that the dad didn't want any extra detectives that could do some of the technology stuff, I guess, that can go further into the computer, like above the means of what Hollywood PD has, because they don't have the best resources, let's be honest, you know?
Right.
So there's people that actually are privately funded that can go further into her computer and can go further into this tracking. And she said, no, the dad doesn't want anything, you know, extra, which kind of just stood out to me.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't get to that part in the live. I didn't watch the whole thing, but that is interesting. Okay. They said supposedly, too, that they handed over the laptop to Hollywood police, but you know, I don't know how long they're holding on to it. Did they give it back or they're still searching through it? But it does seem like there's a lot of people or resources willing to help out, reach out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you think personally? Like, what do you think? I mean, I know we don't know. What do you think? Maybe she got taken advantage of, like somebody coerced her, or?
I don't know. And originally I did think automatically human trafficking because, you know, I grew up in South Florida. I go to all these parks often. I'm one that when I have a rough day, I want to clear my mind. And, you know, I'm familiar with that area. I go down there every weekend to watch the sunrise just north of Ann Kolb. And it's sketchy. Like I'll go there at 6 a.m. and I don't go alone because there's homeless people out there and stuff.
Right.
But now I think the timeline being off, Larry at the park, her turning off her services, it's kind of throwing me for a curveball. Like,
it is throwing me for a curveball too, and I just can't ignore it. Like I don't want to be, you know, but it's things that you just kind of can't ignore. You know, I don't know.
I want to say one last thing. You know, I work with a lot of children that have autism, and they are highly functioning. And you know, I would place her, from what I've heard, more on the Asperger's side. It's more social. And children with autism that are very high function like that, they are brilliant. Like they're ahead of everything. Like especially technology wise, I will say that from my experience personally. And turning off your phone is intentional. That's not, you know, there's an intention behind that. So that's what kind of has thrown me off a lot. That turning that off prior to getting on the bus. I don't know why. So my whole thing is kind of changed now. Now I'm kind of thinking that she's choosing this, especially because there's no evidence at all. Like vanished. It's just weird.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your call and your insight.
Thank you for all you do.
All right, thanks. Take care.
Take care.
So, okay, we got 2 other callers. Appreciate that call. I don't know. And who knows? Maybe she could have got coerced online. Maybe it could have been an online thing. Well, the family said that they searched, but I mean, I don't know. You never know, man. Let me tell you, Ann Kolb at that time, it was like, well, who knows now, right? Because I guess it could have been like 4 o'clock or something, or she could have got here around 4, if what Larry's account is true, because there have been many sightings that haven't led to anything. So if Larry actually saw her, 4 o'clock is still pretty daylight out there, but it can get creepy on some of the paths. I was there this weekend. Let me say this real quick, and then I'll pick up the callers. I was there over the weekend, and I purposely went at closing time. And they had a ranger in a truck. They had a ranger in a truck, and she was like on a speakerphone, "Hey, everybody leave, everybody leave." And I was like, I don't remember ever being here at closing time, but I don't know that they always do that. I don't know if they're just doing that now because of the media attention, that now they're like, oh, let's close this place down. But anyway, even after closing time, you can still walk in on foot. The Westlake Park side is very creepy. I wouldn't go there at night. I'll tell you that right now. I wouldn't even go there late in the evening, to be honest with you. This place is a little bit more creepier to me than Ann Kolb, and this gate never closes. The private eye, not the family's private investigator, the private eye went there after hours. The gate was open. I went there one time after hours. The gate was open. There's cameras on this bridge. I did a cameras video. Walked across the bridge. Walked on A1A. I don't know, man. Okay, 501. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Sarah from Arkansas.
Sarah, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. How you doing? You're working.
I'm
now,
good.
right?
I'm good. Yeah, we had a late day today,
Okay,
but I was trying to listen while I was riding, and I couldn't comment. It was driving me nuts. But this new, I don't know if it's called development, whatever. The fact that she's been taking the bus since she was 12, I didn't hear that last night. I think I must have joined in late on the live on Facebook as well.
The bus thing, that was from a previous Instagram. I think the night before
okay, so
that.
maybe that's why I didn't
Yeah,
catch
yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
So that's like super new to me today. So this case, I mean, I've chatted with you a couple times, but it's like, okay, could it be this? And then I'll be John Brown that day, something don't come through, a comment, a picture or something that just totally debunks all of that thinking. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe this is what happened. So of course, everything that I had thought to talk to you about or whatever, as soon as I heard that tonight, I was like, well, she's been taking this bus since she was 12. You know, I don't know. Because I was beginning to think, you know, like maybe she, you know, because she was upset that maybe she just adventured a little further out more than what she normally would have. And maybe she did get lost. I mean, there's a lot of woods down there, a lot. But if she's been doing it since she was 12, I don't know. And then I see comments, people are like, maybe she started taking clothes with her a few days ago and she's had this planned and she's planned to, you know, take off or whatever. And I was like, no, there's the way the family talks, it doesn't sound like she's the type that would be able to come up with those kind of plans on her own. But I mean, if she's been doing all of this since she was 12, doing dual enrollment and going off to college, I mean,
she was very, from what I can see, very intelligent. She's very well accomplished.
Very.
It's impressive,
yeah. For sure.
Yeah, it is kind of frustrating. I saw Kara say it's kind of frustrating. Yeah, definitely, just mind-boggling.
It is very frustrating because even like some of the other cases recently that's been going on, like the
Thanks,
what was her last name, Loloff or Lolif?
Yeah.
You know, when she did that, she was a few days and seeing the kind of attention she was getting, she at least let her family know that
she made a video, right?
And I was hoping by now she would have.
Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of concerning. Like we
that
haven't
was the
heard,
case.
like if she ran on her own, we haven't heard nothing. Like she didn't put nothing out, or
Right.
at least to let people know she's okay. So that is also mysterious and
Right.
concerning. Yeah.
It's I don't know. But then I mean I have a couple other theories too,
Sure.
but
Go
I
ahead.
shouldn't have voiced those. But
okay.
well, I mean, like one of the things, and I am not pointing fingers. I have nothing against no one's religion, no nothing. I'm simply just things that are going through my mind because I think out loud. But it seems like, and I don't know if maybe it's just, you know, every generation as they get older, they think they're grown, and because I have 3 teenagers, I know they think that they can do it on their own and they don't need their parents. They want to get away from their parents' rules or whatever, you know, kind of like Lola or however you said her last name. But it kind of seems like there's been quite a few here lately that have all been, no, I just had a brain fart.
Like what, runaways or
The Latter-day Saints, you know what I mean? Like
Oh, okay.
seems like maybe they changed up any of their I don't want to say their beliefs because their beliefs don't change, but did something change within the church to make the teenagers and the young adults want to, you know, steer away? I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah, I don't know. And she was supposed to have like a Zoom meeting that evening. I don't know what kind of Zoom
Yeah,
it was,
like a
but I think it was
church meeting
I think it
or
was a church
something.
thing from what I heard. Yeah, I'm not sure, so I don't
Yeah.
know. It's very
There's
mysterious. I
just
mean, I
so
hope if she's
many.
out there and she's okay, that she would let at least people know. Let people know so they,
Right.
everybody can kind of stop. Maybe her
Because
family and
he's
church can deal with
definitely
it.
got a whole group. I mean, I've never seen so many people come together,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing,
Right, right.
so the word's gotten to her, so that's just my hope that one of these afternoons we'll get a news clip that says they got a phone call or something.
I hope so. I really hope so too.
I hope so.
All right, well,
But
thanks,
I won't
Sarah.
hold up your line.
Yeah, appreciate you
I know
calling.
you got callers.
All right, thanks.
Take care.
Take care. All right, that's Sarah. I appreciate you calling in. There is another person calling. Somebody asked about the Facebook group, so you can go get official. I put the link for the PayPal. If you want to send a donation, you can send a link to the PayPal. I'm not directly affiliated with these people. I'm just an outsider, a local guy, a YouTuber. I've been building my platform for a couple of years, and recently I started taking on local cases. That's the Facebook page. Started taking on local cases. Layla Cavett, Veronica Reyes Diaz. I went out in person, met the family. We did a really nice video, and I've been out just when I can. And it's something it's a lot different than just sitting behind a computer. It's kind of, I don't know what to describe it as, fulfilling or just I don't know. It makes things a lot more real, I guess. 310. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Hey, I'm in Cali.
Hi. Thank you for calling. Who's this?
Hey, my name is Helena. I kind of tuned in a little late or whatnot, but I it's crazy because I look at when people say give their theories or whatever. I honestly try to go off see what you think, because we haven't really got what you think. And it's funny because I look at your face, and when people say stuff, you smirk, you smile, and it's like, damn, is he thinking what she's thinking, or is he thinking what he's saying? And it's like, and I notice when people say stuff, you give, okay, like, I'm not going to go there. I'm not about to go there. But it's just like, at first, I was thinking, it was more like, okay, this is, you got me not even wanting to say it. But I'm like, okay, this is really what I'm thinking. Like, okay, did you once tell us that she had a strict, religion or something like that?
So, a lot of I don't really know what happened. That's really just the truth. I mean, I've had theories, but my mind has been swirling. Every time I find out something new, it kind of makes something else look less or more. And since it's so close to me, I try to sometimes hold my thoughts back. With the church, I honestly never knew anything really about them until recently when the story came about, and then somebody reached out to me and kind of gave me a little bit of the history and some of that stuff where supposedly it's kind of strict. I don't know if that had anything to do with her thing or not. When I was out there, when I went out there looking in person, at first I was like, man, maybe they didn't look here, maybe they didn't look there, maybe she just got stuck, like maybe something happened in the waters, maybe we could find her or something like that. But the more and more that I went out there in person, like it's something to just be out there in person and like be in the land and just be like absorbing everything. And I felt like she wasn't there. I started feeling like she's really not out there in the woods or something like that, or that she got stuck. I mean, I don't know for sure because I didn't get to fully check everything, but cops supposedly have been there 2 times with drones. I mean, they had helicopters, all this sophisticated stuff, so, but the whole thing with the today and last night's stream with the GPS thing, that almost kind of implies like intention to me. Like I can't turn from rationale and logic. If that's true, that she actually turned off her own GPS before she took the bus to the park or the beach or whatever, that sounds like intention to me. I could be wrong.
Right.
I don't know.
I was gonna say maybe she ran away with with somebody.
I don't know.
Maybe somebody picked her up that she knows, or she planned to go.
Right.
But that's
Right.
all I would really want to say. 'Cause I don't know many things I'm hoping.
I just try to stay quiet. I
I
just
mean,
try to,
that's
yeah,
so
let me
good.
just let people put it out there. But yeah, I try to paint the picture and however people take it.
Right. And it's all love. It's all love.
Thank
I'm
you. I
gonna let
appreciate the
get to the
call.
next caller.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks. Leah made a good point and she said, but why turn it off and take a photo of where you are? That's a good point too. I don't know. Hey Lexa, how you doing? They also said something about her leaving her phone versus turning it off. That I haven't heard. I don't know. As far as I know, she had her phone. I know some people are probably gonna be upset with me, but these things are just things we have to talk about. I don't know how we can not talk about it when you start getting the information, and we really need some more official information. It'd be nice to see something from police, something concrete, because things have changed a little bit here and there. Yeah, and so I just pulled the information together. The other thing too, I saw this. I think some people are really going out there and really invested. And I would just say, I mean, you could maybe say I am too, but I would say really be careful of what you're doing. I don't condone harassing people, harassing family, going after people, like, stalking people, none of that stuff. I don't think that stuff should be done. And just be mindful too. We don't really know what happened. We don't know the situation. And so before you start doing things, just be mindful of that. I tell you, she wasn't out there anymore. I have a feeling she's up on Ocean Drive. There's a lot of people that feel she was taken. There's a lot of people that feel she was taken. I don't know. Well, the friend Summer, I guess I can read you the messages. And I mean, Summer is in Idaho, I think. She was her roommate. Oh, let me play real quick too. Let me play the Larry clip real quick for the people that missed Larry, because a lot of people are like Larry, which makes sense. I'm not saying that's crazy for people to be like, why they're not, maybe they can re-interview this guy. I don't know if police have found this guy, spoken to him. Who's Larry? The mysterious Larry. And I almost think, and I made this in a post. I don't know if I'm giving too much to the police. I almost think if they know more or suspect more or whatever, and that's why the reason that they only released one little still image. Here's Larry. They get you the full screen.
Inside the park and sent it to a friend on Snapchat. But around 6:15 p.m., she stopped sending or receiving messages and phone calls. This man says he saw her at that very tower.
I walked around and she was like gazing out over to the east side, the west side of the tower there, but I didn't talk to her. I don't know with her.
Well, Yvonne
side
has
of the tower.
autism, and while she's high functioning, her family says she has the social maturity of a 15-year-old. So again, this is the largest search.
The other thing too, as far as GPS, maybe her phone was dying. I saw somebody mention phone was dying. Maybe she turned off the GPS to conserve battery, or is that giving too much to that? He was too voluntary. Oh, so the message real quick, and I think we can end the stream. I like to keep it kind of nice and concise. I think we did good tonight. Just to put it out there. So I messaged Summer at one point, and I just asked her very directly. I was like, do you know where exactly in Ann Kolb she was last when you spoke to her? She said, unfortunately, I don't. I didn't even know she was specifically at Ann Kolb at the time. She only told me that she was at a wildlife park. But she did send me a picture of a river, a bird in the water with trees, and roots in the water in the background. And she told me that these were all different pictures. And a picture of the city in the background, but it looked like she was on ground level. It's been going around that she sent me a pic of her on the watchtower, but I never got a pic like that. And you saw this clip right here in the news. because I think the news is just basing off of what they're being told. So the news information may not even necessarily be correct. They're just people are giving information and they're taking the information and putting it out there. You know,
officers say at the moment they don't suspect any foul play and they haven't uncovered anything in the search. It's the largest we've seen since Bolivar went missing. Last Thursday, she took a selfie at the observation tower inside the park.
That's the whole observation tower thing. But Larry, I don't know if Larry, his verbiage was kind of like vague a little bit. Like he mentioned she was at the it seemed like he mentioned she was at the tower, but was she on the tower or was she just by the tower?
And sent it to a friend on Snapchat. But around 6:15 p.m., she stopped sending or receiving messages and phone calls. This man says he saw her at that very tower.
I walked around and she was like gazing out over to the east side, the west side of the tower there, but I didn't talk to her. I don't know with her.
Bolivar has autism, and while
I don't know. Strange. What's up, Ralph? Oh yeah, so let me finish the messages. She also, and I asked her about if she had the pic saved, and no, because it's Snapchat. And I asked her because she left a comment on my YouTube page about that. She knows that Noemi was there because of other indicators. I asked what other indicators were there, and she said, I didn't know when she was Snapchatting me, but we figured out because her phone pinged near and she took the city bus there, and her parents said she went there often. So they kind of like, put 2 and 2 or 3 and 3, whatever together. The other thing too, she sent me another message to clarify some things. And she said, first of all, the Snapchat she sent me was of her on the bus. It was a selfie and she had a white mask on. She was making a joke about the bus. Then there were a few more bus pictures before she sent me pictures of the nature park. Now you mentioned in your video, that you should look at other parks, and I totally agree. I worry that people are searching Ann Kolb when it might not even be the place she was at. So she's not sure. She's in another state. I was really worried about the first couple of days because people were just saying that that's the park she was at without any other options, and she's just saying it's possible she could have been at other places. And that's kind of it. But she did say it was normal for Noemi to leave without her bag or purse and just bring her phone and just put her credit card in her jacket, which I believe I don't even think she had a credit card with this situation at this time. Had they been searching in Dania, Sheridan Street is pretty much the border to Hollywood. From what I know, they've searched the entire area. I mean, I've seen flyers everywhere. I've personally walked these paths, these trails. Where Larry referenced as far as looking west from the tower, this is the observation tower. They make it a little bit bigger for you guys. This is the observation tower. West would have been in this direction, so she would have been looking over here. This trail here, I mean, you would literally have to hop over or somebody push you over or something. There's no way somebody's just gonna fall over this path thing here. And this is the West Lake South Trail, and this is the Underbridge Path. So did her phone ping at the park? No, it pinged on the beach. Pinged towards the beach. But the beach has a radius of miles, I believe. So who knows? Everybody's saying Larry's off. Everybody's saying Larry sounds off. Larry's suspicious. He didn't give his last name. What did Lexa say? Everybody's saying Larry's sus. So I guess that's kind of it for the live. I think that's it, man. No more calls. Thank you guys for everybody that called in. I appreciate it. Thank you for the live. I liked it that we kept it very concise, tight. And I think I spoke about most of the things that I wanted to speak on. Whatever happened to Noemi, we want her back. Hopefully she's okay. Hopefully she's alive, regardless if she left on her own or somebody took her or whatever. And I understand too, maybe from, I don't know, family and friends, that they want people taking things serious too, so they don't want to hear any kind of possibility that she would have ran. They said that it's not in her nature at all. That's what I've seen from all her friends. It's very bizarre. So, and I've spoken personally to people that I've never met for the first time, walking up to them in the community, talking to these people, and they were all like freaked out. You know, can you do a timeline with only facts? We did that at the beginning of the. I mean, I don't know if you would consider it facts, but we did, at the beginning of the live stream, we did this timeline, and this is the timeline that's been on the news and that we've all been told. But there's no way, like, you know, I don't know. This is the timeline that was given to us. The church sent it to us, which the things we can corroborate. She was on the bus. The Summer thing, which Summer reached out. I reached out to Summer, and she said this did happen. This took place, and supposedly the pings. You know, that's as accurate or what we're being told. There's nothing else I can pull up to you. I can pull up the news articles, but the news articles are basing their information off of this. So, and so she could have left home at 3 or 4 or in between that time. Your facts. Yeah, the image quality is not that great. I mean, if you guys want me to send you this, I can just message me or email me. I'll send you this image and you can look at it yourself. Karim stated that they're gonna put out another, like, an updated timeline or something. So that would be nice. But we're just really, I think, need to hear from police, and hopefully something comes up. If I find out more, you know, I'll let you guys know for sure. Just reach out to me though if you want this. But the information that we have is, like, it's honestly just really little. There's not much to go off of, you know. At one point too, some people were in the chat were talking about maybe the ping times weren't correct. I don't know. So there's a lot of stuff to take, especially in the comment section or on the internet in the comments, kind of with a grain of salt. We just know that she left her home. She went on a bus. She may have gotten off around Ann Kolb or maybe the beach, and she's missing. All the stuff in between, hopefully will come to light with maybe what police will release. Police, from what I can see, all they release is that image, a still image. So AP, thank you, man. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're not in the hospital still. Hope you're recovering. Yeah, police conference will be nice. A police conference will be nice, so we don't have all this in the middle stuff going on right now. You know what I'm saying? I understand too the pressure and all that kind of stuff, and you're 1 minute off and everybody's like, but that's what the internet's going to do too. People are going to dig. A police conference would definitely be nice, I think. Maybe a release of the surveillance video. So thanks, Beaver. All right, you guys have a good night. We're on Discord too. Hit the like, share, please. Somebody called in. Oh my God, somebody called in. Oh, you know what? Let's end it off. I think this is Jay. We'll end it off with Jay. Dr. J. Don't go crazy. Don't get me canceled. Hello?
Yo.
Hey.
Can you hear me, bro?
I hear you clear. What's up, man?
Hey, this live was amazing.
Amazing.
You know,
thanks, man.
Amazing. Look, bro, I'm gonna be real brief, man.
Sure.
If this story, and I can't sit around and pontificate like where she is, where she went, whoop de whoop, because like I'm just not. I'm dealing like, you know, I'm not intelligent. I'm dumb. So if she gone, she gone. We're gonna pray that she come back. But what I'm gonna say is, let's use this as an example why y'all should never leave y'all house by yourself. Like, we need to start moving different in this crazy world we live in. Like, I don't leave my house after 7 p.m. I don't leave my house without allegedly a firearm and a buddy. Like, we do the buddy system over here. So when y'all leave, start going places with people. So you always have somebody around you that can at least run away if they snatch you. You understand what I'm saying? So God bless this sweet girl.
Yeah,
I hope everything okay with her.
Yeah.
That's it, bro. I can't sit here and say the bus did this and Larry did this. You know, Larry cool, bro. We from Florida. We know thousands of Larrys. So everybody in Florida suspect. Yo,
Yeah,
we
that's true.
weird down
Everybody.
here. So, you know,
It's true.
bro, think about when you go out, you see 1,000 Larrys, you be like, man, that dude off. But we all a little off. Like, so, man, I just want to call in and say, man, this live was perfect. Shout out to No Washington Wizards coming in
Oh,
here. You know what I
Lord.
mean?
Oh, Lord.
Look, hey, God bless Maddie, man, and shout out to you, bro.
Thanks.
Be safe.
All right, take care, man. Appreciate you.
Yep. Salute.
Thanks, man. Jason's been here for a while. To comment on that too, you know, when I went to Westlake Park, I saw elderly couple there. I mean, when I went to Ann Kolb, I saw kids there, families there. I mean, I think on the weekdays it gets a little kind of more quieter and empty, kind of. But it really isn't the place typically you would think you're gonna go missing. You're whatever. I've gone there with my daughter. I took her there when she was an infant. I've taken family. I've taken friends there. We've gone on that tower. I've spoken to so many people in the community that have been there themselves, and people were just really kind of concerned and kind of freaked out. Like, damn, that could have been me. That could have been my family. That could have been whatever. You know, do we have somebody in the neighborhood that's doing this kind of stuff? You know. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys. Hit like and subscribe. Take care of yourselves. Did I put the Discord? I'll put the Discord real quick. If you want to join, it's only temporary link, 24 hours. But we're sometimes chilling on Discord too if you want to come. But thanks. Take care. Peace.